I get it. You think you need a big yard to grow your own food. Well, I'm here to tell you you're wrong. I'm going to show you 5 foods you can grow in containers successfully so that you can assess your space and address what you've got and plant your harvests for the future. First up, we have this tomato. It's a volunteer plant, so I don't actually know what variety it is. So I also don't know if it's going to be a determinate or an indeterminate tomato. I have, however, made an allowance for this. I'm planting it in this particular container because directly above me there is actually a way for us to drop some twine should we want to string this particular tomato, and I will just prune it as the season carries on, and I'll take you on that journey with me. However, if that is something you do want to learn about, we do have an earlier video that you can go and check out all about how to prune your tomatoes. So let's plant it out. Just going to tease these roots slightly, just to encourage them to reach out into the new soil. There we go. There we have our tomatoes in. Next up, I'm planting out an eggplant, and on this particular one I do know the variety. This is a Black Beauty eggplant, and eggplant is one of my favorite crops to grow in containers, so much so that I think I might actually want to grow them exclusively in containers in my garden. I do have 2 varieties that I prefer. That's the Black Beauty and the Long Purple. I'm not necessarily not open to trying other varietals, but I feel like these are solid staples and I know how I'm going to use them. I'm going to turn them into marinated eggplants, and I don't know, growing them in containers for me just makes sense. They are a small shrubbing variety type plant, and they give you an abundance of fruit. So obviously growing them in containers you will get a few more smaller fruit, but you're still getting a pretty decent yield at the end of the day, at least off of one plant. So we're going to keep growing these. And while containers are my favorite way to grow eggplant, they are not necessarily my favorite plant to grow in containers, but we'll get to that just now. So here are a few of the other things we grow in containers. Here we've got a pansy, and we've got a squash of some kind, some parsley, and a calendula. Over here on this side in this pot, we've got some parsley again, and even some yarrow. So next up we're going to look at our leafy greens and how they grow in containers. Both of these greens prefer a slightly shadier, cooler area in the summer. So these last containers, because of the way the sun moves in my garden, will be a perfect area for them. Here's my scarlet kale seedling. I'm putting it dead center after I just tease these roots slightly. It was a little bit root bound. And then this kale should grow nice and large and also provide us a few harvests off of one plant. This is just purely because Duncan and I like to eat a lot of green leafy veg. I know that kale is not everybody else's first pick, but you can always adapt and grow something that you and your family enjoy. For the next container over here, I have got some Swiss chard, and these are the bright lights variety. So I was fortunate enough to get what looks like potentially white or pink, a red, and a yellow. So let's plant those out. Again, that brings me to our standout crop, which is for me the chili pepper, or the pepper. In this particular container, we're going to grow jalapeno pepper. And the reason we're growing jalapenos as well, honestly, because we like spicy peppers. Now, if you don't particularly like a spicy pepper, you are more than welcome to grow what you want in your garden, and you could potentially look at another pepper like a California wonder. They're a sweet pepper, or even an orange lunchbox pepper. They always go down really well. The nice thing about growing peppers in containers is they do bush out slightly, but they yield a lot of fruit. So whether it's for pickling purposes or eating fresh, decide what works for you and grow yourself some peppers. Hey guys, so just an extra tip here on the back end. Make sure that you're planting the things that you want to eat, that your family likes, and you're not wasting your time growing crops that nobody gets to enjoy. Hey guys, just like that, we've planted out our containers and our crops are ready to grow us an abundant harvest. So I just wanted to say thanks for hanging out with me today. I really do appreciate that you take the time out of your schedule to spend it with me. And I just wanted to say, if you haven't already, remember to like and subscribe, and we hope to see you in future videos. Follow along for our homesteading journey. Bye guys!